We all wish we had more patience. True. And it's often is said that patience is a virtue. Now, if you're taking notes, I want to give you a Dr. V statement, so write this one down. Write this down, okay? Patience is the mother of all virtues. Patience is not just a virtue, it's the mother of all virtues. That's number one. All right? That means it gives birth to all the other virtues. Like, I'll give you an example. Compassion. Patience is the mother of compassion. You will never have compassion for somebody if you're not patient with them first. You can sit there and say, I'm compassionate, Dr. V, damn it. I just wish this bum would get off my street corner so I can move my car and make a left-hand turn without him bothering me. So you can't say that. You can't do that and be compassionate. Isn't that true? I wish I could get through Christmas without these Salvation Army people ringing their bells in my face. Well, you're not very compassionate then, right? So patience is the mother of all virtues. That's tip number one. Okay. Tip number two, it's opposite. Impatience or not having patience. Right? Impatience is the mother of all the bad virtues. So patience is the mother of all good virtues. Compassion, courage, strength, equanimity, peace. That comes from patience. Peace with your family, with your kids. You'll never have peace with your teenagers until you're patient with them. Okay? Its opposite, impatience, is the mother of all negative virtues. Impatience will lead you to criticism, guilt, self-doubt, anxiety, suffering, depression. Isn't that true? Worry. They're all related. They're all cousins, if you will. But they all spring from being impatient. All right? So that's tip number two. Number one, patient is the mother of all good virtues. Tip number two, impatience is the mother of all bad virtues. Now listen, let me ask this question. Most of you are my patients. You're doing good. Any of y'all bad people? Do you want to be a bad person? Do you want to be cruel, critical? Do you want to have anxiety? No, you don't. What does everybody want in their lives? Ultimately, we all want is pleasure and happiness and peace. That's in my book, okay? To be peaceful inside is ultimately what we want. And you will never have that if you don't have patience. Does that make sense? Number one, it's because impatience will bring you all those negative virtues, whether you want them or not. And all of you stressing out about your insurance, understand what I'm saying right now. Anxiety, frustration, anger, nail biting, fretfulness, cursing, self-doubt. Should I quit? What the hell? What did I do all this for? Just to run into this roadblock? When the reality is this is nothing. Nothing in the roadblock of life. I mean, insurance approving your surgery is a nothing bump in your roadblock of life, on the scale of how you need to live your life. That's really important for my patients that are frustrated with their insurance. Okay? So that's nice, Dr. V, but how do I get more patience? Now think about this. This is tip number 3. Whether you know it or not, it's harder to be impatient than it is to be patient. Now you guys are all disagreeing with me right now. No, Dr. Vuong, I'm impatient. That's easy. That's second nature to me. I was born second nature to be impatient. It's not true. You have to do more work to be impatient. Now listen to me out. If you need to be patient, in order to be patient, write this down. In order to be patient, what do you have to do? Answer is nothing. You just sit and be. There's nothing you do. You just sit. If you're impatient, you're doing all sorts of shit, aren't you? You're up at night, can't sleep, fretting, drinking, smoking, thumping your legs, crossing your arms, calling on the phone, saying, I'm going to tell this insurance person a thing or two. Wait till my son gets home with my car in the middle of the night, missed his curfew. I'm going to show him a thing or two. So you have to be more, you have to do more to be impatient. All right? So the reality, this is reality, tip number 3, it's much easier to be patient than it is to be impatient. But why, Dr. V, are we not then? Reason is because we feel like all that fretting and talking and scolding and criticizing is somehow going to help the situation. And what we don't understand is that it does not. It will only make it worse. It will only make it worse. Okay? You're sitting still and being calm actually makes it better. All right? Because here's what you're impatient about. What is it you're impatient about? Let me ask you that question. What is it you're impatient about? I promise you, you're impatient about everything out there. Everything outside of your control. Your insurance company. Good luck trying to control them. Your son coming home on curfew on time. Your math professor being a better professor or skipping your test. Your boss doing what he's supposed to do, etc. So you're never going to control that. Your fretting, yelling, complaining will not fix any of that. In fact, it'll make other people feel worse. It'll make the insurance girl on the other side of the phone who's just trying to do her job because she's got some sort of dictum by her bosses signing her paycheck to tell her to slow out these approvals. You're going to make her feel bad about her job and what she's trying to do, and she'll dig her heels in deeper. You're going to make my office staff feel bad about their jobs because they're on the phone all the time, refaxing things all the time, calling on your behalf, and you're not being very patient. Mostly, the opposite of impatient is also ungrateful. Now, I know you guys don't think you're ungrateful, and that's not what I'm saying, but you understand. It comes across as being ungrateful for all the hard work that people are doing for you. My life dramatically changed about 3 years ago when I learned to be patient. To do that, I just sit still and don't say anything. I don't do anything. I don't say anything. I trust the people around me to do what they need to do. And it will happen when it needs to happen. Because that's tip number 4, I think. Okay? It's going to happen when it happens. Because it's all outside of your control. And your interfering will only make it worse. That's a truth. Okay? So it's much easier just to be patient, to sit. Truth number 1. Patience is the mother of all good virtues. Everything. Peace, justice, compassion, equanimity, fairness. Patience is the mother of all those virtues. Impatience, its opposite. Impatience is the mother of all the other bad virtues. Criticism, neglect, hurtfulness, scolding, scorn, cruelty, stealing, thievery, impatience. True? Tip number 3, it's easier to be patient because you don't do anything. When you're impatient, you have to behave, you have to act, you have to fret, you expend energy. And tip number 4, and the worst thing of all, you will make the situation worse by being impatient. The other person trying to do their job will dig in their heels. Your boss feels like you're criticizing him or her, or that she's already inadequate. Your son, who already knows that they're insecure and teenager and that they're a screw up, gonna feel more like a screw up if that's what you do. Does that make sense, y'all? So what you have to do is just trust into the universe. Decide, what decisions that I make led me to this situation? What choices did I have? Where am I rigid about? What am I digging my heels in on that's making the other person dig their heels in on. And that's all you gotta do, right? If you can sleep and if you can look back and say, I did everything I needed to do, and then just put it to the universe, and that's it. Because you can't control out there. You can only control in here. That's it, y'all. That's the end of my talk.